So in this video, we want to talk about the sensitive information sharing environment use case process. And the question we want to answer in this video is what makes a good use case, right? A use case is really built around a problem. So we have a process. The first thing we look at is we define what is the problem. There's many, okay? So usually we lead with the private sector problems. And then what we do is we run it through, the Fleet Response Working Group in 2013 developed a process very quickly of how to rank and prioritize problems, right? How do we select what problem, what's the criteria we use to define what problem we're going to take on? It's very simple. So the first one is it simple? Does it take an act of Congress, a letter from the Pope? Is it going to happen in a year? Is it solvable? If it's not solvable, it goes to the parking lot. 2, is there going to be some operational value if we dedicate the time, energy, and resources to solve it? Does it have operational benefit to the private sector or to government? Either one. We try to look at private sector first because we want them involved and we need to see movement to stay involved. The third one is, can we show a result in 90 days? Very, very, very important to show movement. A result could be a workshop, a call, a document, a webinar, something they weren't aware of. We got to show results quickly. Once we have those 3 criteria addressed, the next question is now, do we have the available resources through facilitation and entrepreneurial thinking to look for solutions? Do we have that kind of resource available? This isn't just have somebody facilitate a call. You need people that can think like a problem solver, looking for solutions that drive these things out. And if you do, you can then get started. So we have a very simple process. We hold 6 calls. If we can't find a solution in 6 calls, we drop it. We go to the parking lot and we move on. The reason for that is the private sector will not stay engaged over time if we don't show movement and value and the potential of fixing some problem that is important to them. It's very key. So we do this within 6 phone calls, and we try to drive to a solution, either some tool they weren't aware of, some data set in government they weren't aware of, a webinar, a solution already out there by a third party. We look at what can we use to bring people together. But the idea is we want to get started with a roadmap that has dates, okay? So you can see here on the problem side is we look at private sector first, and we look at state government first, right? Then we look at federal government. There's many, many problems to solve, okay? We try to really stay focused on a specific sector or cross-sector problem, and there's many. But we try to look for the ones that have the biggest impact, that if we move the ball forward, it's pretty significant, okay? So we are always on the lookout for problems that are worthy of solving, okay? Then we really focus on the results and we market and message these results. Results can take many forms, right? The first result is we build a community around the problem. You got to have people trusting and talking and working together. But out of that, you can find information, reports. You can find data sets that not everybody knew about. You can locate tools as a solution or a result. You can sign agreements. You can do federal agreements, federated agreements, which are just handshakes. You can come up with new processes. We've done that many times in the Canadian border crossing process. We've developed new policy, like in Pennsylvania, when the private and public worked together on the empty trailer policy, which was a game changer up there. We can find research. We can bring research into the mix, like we're looking to do with a couple of projects we've been working on with the federal lab. So this gives you an idea of the process we use and what makes a good use case.